Hello, I'm Rachel Sherwood with ImpressionsAtHome.com.
And I'm Elizabeth Child with RedoYou.com.
And today we're talking about simple options at home. Soups are great for quick, easy meals at home, but be careful. There's a big difference between fresh and processed soups.
So oftentimes we're sacrificing our health for a quick meal. With processed soups you can get from the grocery store, they have added sugars, they have MSG, and they'll oftentimes have as much as half the recommended daily intake of salt in one serving. So Rachel, how can we make a healthy soup from scratch at home?
Making a delicious soup at home is quicker and easier than you think. I'll show you how to make an asparagus soup using just 5 ingredients.
Great.
So here we've got our pot with a little of olive oil. You could use butter too if you want. And you're gonna add your onions and garlic. These are your aromatics, which are gonna add great flavor to the soup.
Oh, and they also add wonderful heart health, and they're great for your immune system.
So add our onions, add our garlic, and we're just gonna let this simmer over medium, high heat for about 2 to 3 minutes until they become translucent.
So Rachel, did you know that if you let your garlic sit for 10 minutes before you put it in, it actually increases the healing value of the garlic?
Yes. Oh, that's so good to know. Okay. All right, so you know when your onions are done because they'll be just nice and translucent, not golden brown yet. So when your onions are nicely sauteed, then you can add your vegetable of choice. We're gonna use asparagus here, but other things like broccoli and zucchini would also be wonderful vegetables to choose from.
Yes. And did you know that asparagus is great for your brain?
I did not.
Yes. It has folate, and when you combine that with B12, it makes an excellent nutrient for brain health.
And where would I find B12?
Well, B12 is in your dairy, meat, poultry, or fish.
Oh, good to know.
So if you add that soup as a side dish to your meal, you get a smart side dish.
So I've added just our asparagus as we talked about, and then our chicken broth and a little bit of salt and pepper for flavoring. It's always nice to season as you go along because you can actually use less salt and pepper if you season in the beginning rather than just at the end. You can bring it to a boil and let it simmer for about 10 minutes just until the asparagus is tender.
So one of the great things about asparagus is it's almost as nutrient dense as kale.
So asparagus would be a good transition vegetable into eating and enjoying other healthy greens like kale is what you're saying.
I just try to tell my health clients, eat something green every day.
All right, it looks like our asparagus is perfectly tender, which is perfect to puree it, which is the next step to making a thick, creamy soup without adding too much cream or dairy. So if you're using a conventional blender, you only want to fill it about 1/3 full. Because if you fill it too full, the steam will build up pressure and will actually blow the top right off of the container. Blend it just until you like your desired consistency. If you want a few chunks in there, just don't blend it quite as long. We're going for a smooth, creamy soup, so we're gonna leave it just like that. Another way to puree your soup would be to use something called an immersion blender or a stick blender, which can actually go directly in the pot so you don't have to worry about transferring it back and forth, a little less mess. So this just goes right in the pot, make sure the blades are fully submerged, and turn it on. Now that your soup is pureed and you have it at the consistency that you like, you can add your lemon juice, salt, pepper, and adjust the seasonings as desired, and that's it. Very simple. And you've got a wonderful, quick, delicious, hearty meal right at home.
Oh, I love that.
So you could garnish this with a little sour cream or asparagus tops, but even for kids, like popcorn or goldfish crackers would be a wonderful option. And we'll garnish ours with a little bit of cream.
What if you were sensitive to milk or cream?
Oh, if you didn't want to thicken with cream or add something like that, you could definitely add like a already cooked potato and blend that up to thicken the soup a little bit more.
That's going to be so nice and warming on a winter day, but it still has that spring freshness. I love that.
Yes, so it's really simple to make. As you see, this took us about 15 minutes, just 5 ingredients. So you can make all sorts of delicious vegetable soups and keep them in your freezer to enjoy any time of the year. For this recipe and others like it, to dial down guilt and dial up delicious, visit ImpressionsAtHome.com.
And RedoYou.com.
Here's the healthy, happy eating. Enjoy.